Hello everyone, I'm the Cricket Freak. I'm going to be talking about RCB's approach in this IPL. Mm, Since the auction, there has been a lot of talk about how bad RCB's team selection was and all of that, and they also won all their away games till now in Chepauk, in Kolkata, and even in Mumbai. All of them were fairly tough games. Chennai wasn't that tough though, but they've won some good games of cricket away, but at home they are not able to win the games. Here's my little analysis about how the games went at Chinnaswamy and why probably they could not win the games. Uh, and I'm whatever I'm gonna say now is probably a brave call before the tournament ends, but this is what I am understanding by how RCB is playing this year. Uh, so to start with, I was fairly happy with how RCB bought their team. They have they've covered almost all bases except that middle order Indian batter, which Devdutt Padikkal is playing at number 3 now. But except that, I sort of felt that they have covered almost all bases and everything. Um, as a team, I felt RCB has done quite well in the auction, but their approach, I feel they are doing what SRH did last year, that is going aggressively without putting a price on your wicket. Like, there's no controlled aggression. How This is exactly how SRH played last year, and ideally this approach should have suited them at home. They would have expected that Chinnaswamy, had it been the ground that it used to be until last year, where there were a lot of runs, this approach would have suited them a lot, and they should have ideally won both their games that happened at Chinnaswamy. But the game that they played against Gujarat, the pitch was green. It was swinging a lot, so Siraj got the better of their batters. For example, Phil Salt and Devdutt Padikkal, he got them out. And today it spun a lot. It was almost like a day 4 uh, test match pitch when RCB was batting, even when DC was batting. So Kuldeep Yadav, who gets a lot of revs on the ball, he got a lot of turn. Even Vipraj Nigam got a lot of turn. The bowlers like Mukesh Kumar and Mohit Sharma also, who have a great slower ball, they got help from the pitch. So same with Yash Dayal also, he has a good slower one, so he got some advantage. And Suyash Sharma turned the ball a lot. He wasn't he was also giving a lot of he was also able to get a lot of turn. So that worked really well. But this approach of batting from RCB, I'm not sure if that's going to help them in the days to come, because the pitches are going to be more tired. And if one of their batters, or at least two of their batters, cannot stand through the innings, I'm afraid this approach is going to cost them so many games in the days to come. And even if they can make it to the playoffs, I'm not sure how much this approach is going to help them. This is a slightly brave call, but I felt it when I saw the game today, especially Virat Kohli. He hit a 6 of Vipraj Nigam, the one that down the ground. That 6 was amazing. But the next, right after 2 balls, he went for another 6, which the ball which was not ideal for him to go for a 6. There was a fielder waiting there. The ball outside off turned further away, and he tried to slice that to over long off, but he was caught at long off. So somebody like Virat Kohli or somebody like Rajat Patidar, if they don't stand, or if they don't hold one end on pitches like this, which are very slow, I don't know if RCB can find a way. Thanks to Tim David, that again today he scored a uh, scored a very very important knock, and let's not forget, he also scored a very very important knock at Chennai in Chepauk. He scored those like 3 6s or 4 6s of Sam Curran in the last over, which were the deciding factor. If not for those, if Chennai was only chasing 175 180, the game would have been very different. So I don't know. I am particularly not so impressed by the strategy of RCB, especially their batting strategy. If they had given at least 30 more runs to defend for their bowlers. Today's game was RCB's game. But and if you ask me, after scoring 50 runs of 3 overs, they was only going to score 100 runs in the next 17. I'm not sure anybody would have believed. Phil Salt start, I'm all for it, because Phil Salt is that kind of a player and he has to play that way. So I'm not against how Phil Salt is playing, or I'm not against the way how Tim David is playing or how Liam Livingstone is playing. But Indian batters who are used to playing on these pitches, Virat Kohli, Devdutt, Rajat Patidar and Jitesh Sharma, I'm not sure if Devdutt Padikkal in the first place is the right choice for number 3 for RCB. They have some really they have a really good batter in Manoj Bhandage who can finish games. So if they can get Jacob Bethel at number 3 and replace Liam Livingstone with Manoj Bhandage, probably that will be a better lineup for RCB is what I think, because Jacob Bethel can also play spin well and you can give that freedom to Jacob Bethel. Jacob Bethel can bowl a little bit of off left arm off spin. Liam Livingstone, I understand, might be helpful on pitches that turn, but so is Jacob Bethel. On today's pitch, we didn't see Liam Livingstone perform that well. And if you don't get the best out of your two spinners, Suyash Sharma and Krunal, I don't know how good it is to expect something of Liam Livingstone. Or you can play even Romario Shepherd in place of Liam Livingstone. He also can hit a long ball and he has a good slower ball. So I don't know. So with that combination, I'm also a little. It's a little tricky. We have to understand how they are going to go about in the rest of the tournament. But RCB's approach is for me a little grey at this point. They might go on to win the game against Rajasthan later this weekend, but it completely depends on how Jofra Archer bowls in the power play. If he gets 2 wickets, and if some other bowler in the power play, either Sandeep or Tushar or Tikshana, can get one more wicket in the power play, it's again going to be the game that happened against Gujarat, like how Siraj got early breakthroughs. Only if Phil Salt and Virat Kohli are getting off to a good start and if they are able to see through the power play, this batting approach is working well. If they are losing 1 or 2 wickets by the end of power play, they're just losing momentum. And I'm afraid Liam Livingstone is also not able to play the slower deliveries well. He can't play spin. He's not that great against spin. Jitesh is doing okay again, but he's also he also has a very aggressive approach, which is okay. But if one batter cannot hold one end, I'm afraid RCB is somewhere losing the plot. Virat Kohli has the capability in him to hold one end, and I think the role assigned to him by the RCB management is to just go bang bang, which is, I don't know if that is the best approach for a player of Virat Kohli's caliber. I don't know if the Virat Kohli I know would have gone for that 6 today of Vipraj Nigam after he scored a 6-2 balls ago. He is a player who understands this game better than anybody else. There's a reason why he has the most number of runs in this tournament, and with a very decent strike rate. Not to forget, he scored 700 odd runs at a strike rate of 155 just last year by playing in the approach that he likes the most. And now he's suddenly asked to play faster and he's asked to go after the ball. So he's literally premeditating a 6. Last time he premeditated a 6 against Hardik Pandya. He premeditated a 6 today against Vipraj Nigam. He's fixed in his mind that I'm going to go for a 6 and not playing it on the merit of the ball. So that's the feeling that I am getting from the outside. I might be completely wrong, but we saw how KL Rahul played today on that wicket. I completely understand that he had 20 overs behind the wickets to watch and understand the game, and when you're chasing, you are a different player. I completely understand that, but when you know the pitch is slow and when it is stopping and coming, you got to take your time and you got to understand, and especially when you are as experienced as Virat Kohli, you got to wait and play on the merit of the delivery. If Virat Kohli had stayed till the end today, RCB would have easily gotten at least 20-30 runs more, and that would have been the difference. And I have also a lot to say about their bowling, but we'll talk about it some other day, because today it's unfair on the bowlers to expect them to defend 163, especially when you don't have spinners of Kuldeep's, Aksar's and Vipraj Nigam's caliber in your team. Krunal Pandya is not a great spinner of the ball. So Yash did fairly well. Liam Livingstone, you can't expect much because he's only a part-time spinner. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar, he proved again today why he's the king of swing, and he's the one of the best bowlers in the IPL. However old he is today, he has still got it in him to win games. And if not for that over of Josh Hazelwood where he went for 22 runs, I'm sure Delhi would have chased this down with the form that KL Rahul was in. But this match would have been a little more tight. But irrespective of the result, I'm afraid RCB's approach is a little worrying, and they will have to like look at this once again, and they need to have like a long look uh, at their approach, and they have to also make a couple of harsh calls about Devdutt Padikkal and Liam Livingstone. Um, and and again, I'm not talking all of this just because of the game that happened today, but this is the approach that they played with against Gujarat also, and they have a great bowling lineup this time, which is why in Chennai it didn't feel like their approach was wrong or anything. But even in Chennai, if not for those Tim David's crucial runs, I don't know if they would have ended up in the same position. And not to forget, Rajat Patidar had gotten a lot of chances in Chennai. So let's just wait and see what RCB does in the days to come. See you in the next podcast.